It's only a model. Shh.
We're nice around the table, not round the square or triangle. We come to hang and chat like a gang on Fridays that we're able. We play well here in Camelot, we are chums and fun, but Camelot. We're nice around the table, our host is formidable. He runs his train, loves insane, but sure he's quite unstable. He's hobby mad in Camelot, but seems never to have done a lot. Quite incomprehensible. We're wrenching and we have no plan but to sit and hear Dodge babble. It's a lazy time in Camelot.
I have to shake my bum a lot.
This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
And see it, you'll love it, and it's all done in the best possible way.
Hey everybody, how am I coming through? My mic says it's working. I saw somebody said something about background static. Yeah, missed that. Oh well, have to shave better. Yeah, I just now noticed I trimmed my beard this morning and missed a spot right there. Well. Hope you guys are well on the other side of the camera. Normally I say, wow, it feels like it was just the other day that we were here, but no, this has been a week that has felt like a month since I was last online. It has been crazy. We've had more construction in here. We've had windows, which were supposed to take 3 days. It took all week. They started with the basement, and they did a great job. Number one, thermo twin windows of Toledo. Now, yes, I'm friends with the owner. Did a fantastic job, and they really did a nice job being careful around the layout, but still, you can't help it. They're breaking things out, so there's dust and there's things going in because these windows were 65 years old. They're busting the windows out and everything. It's just been... and we replaced pretty much every window in our house except the 4 we had already replaced. So it was a lot of windows. Anyhow, let's go to saying hello to everybody that's here. Hey, Nicholas Sunshine's here. You should have been added long before. Hey, Rule 1. I now declare you a knight of the round boy table. Again. But anyhow, let's get to the greetings. Lee from Anfield Road. Great to have you here, my friend. Pete from Delft Junction. Nice to have you. Andy, the hot dog pilot. One of the great classic knights. Sir Ifo, the, dare we say, librarian for the scribe for the Knights of the Round Boy table. I'm going to give you that title. 156 Andrew just came in. Jean Ricard did stay awake for the start of the show. Good job, Jean. Sir John Benicki, Sir Joseph Agliato is here. We've got Dwight Curley, Kiwi Dave, Andy, March West Junction. Wonderful to have you all here. Mick from 92 with his brew all set up and ready to go. Dino, my fellow 3-rail Märklin guy. Hello, Monsville Railways. Good morning all the way to Aussie land, where I believe is, as you said, it's 6 a.m. You're not the only Aussie, but the other Aussie sleeps in. He'll be in later. We have Clive from Newland Railway. Thank you for stopping in. And the aforementioned Nicholas Sunshine, also known as Rule 1. It's great to see you. I see you on Facebook, but it's been a while since I've seen you in any incarnation here on YouTube. Randall Ellison, my good friend. Nice to have you. Ray Bertelson, Raymond Anthony 127. One of the long-standing grand knights of the table. The knight that stands above us all. Sir Tim of Dowd is here. Chris from Bally's 56. Nice to have you here. And then the Van den Eisenbahn is here. Welcome back. And, or I should say, Guten Tag, or where you're at, Guten Abend. And then we have Paul from Wolfsex Scenics. I think I accidentally called him Pete somewhere else earlier. But there it is. So yeah, just all kinds of insanity. And the middle of this week with all this window construction going on, my timing got off because the days I normally watch Cayenne got moved. And so I had Cayenne on Monday instead of Tuesday. So all Monday I'm thinking it's Tuesday, and all Tuesday I'm thinking it's Wednesday. Then Joyce came home Tuesday night from work and was sick as a dog, and she has missed the last 3 days of work. She's better today, but that doesn't mean she's good today. She has said she promised Jean Ricard that she would come down as usual. She may not stay her usual time, but she will come down for those who tune in just for Joyce. But then again, you probably don't tune in until 5 o'clock. Let's see, who else has just come in? Okay, I think everybody's good. I think we're up to date with everybody. So yeah, it's just been crazy. And this basement, Joyce and I, we put lightweight plastic tarp all over the layout. We took all the trains, and let me go to this camera. I know this might make some people a little stomach ill, the mobile show. But we took all the trains that were up there and all the locomotives that were up there, and we moved everything into the middle of the table here where they would be the furthest away from any work. So we put everything, I had 3-4 trains on every lane, and I'm going to make everybody sick with that. Sorry, guys. Can't help it. I'm a lefty, and that's my bad hand. But be that as it may, let's go back to, there we go. So everything was in chaos. We boxed up a bunch of trains and cars, put them in plastic totes, shoved those under. We just did everything we could to protect my trains based on the space here. And we moved furniture around so that they could just walk in, do what they had to do, and hopefully not damage anything. As far as damaging, they did nothing bad. There was no damage. There was dust and dirt. But fortunately, we kept 99.9% of that off the layout. any damage was taking the plastic tarps off. Those damn things just fed in anywhere, and then you're trying to delicately lift them and they snag. And it's stupid plastic. It's supposed to be seamless, but they would snag on some little piece, and we broke little pieces off roofs or took roofs off, knocked over some marked figurines and vehicles, but nothing that is worth complaining or crying about. It just, it is what it is. And it took us a while to get this back in order, to get all the trains off, because I thought, while I've got all the trains off, I'm going to reorganize how I store my trains. So I moved all the big, long rakes of cars into the parking area. And I'll, I can show that to you as we go along. But where is it? The long view. Long view, where are you, long view? There we go. But, yeah, so the cars I normally park in the middle here, many of those are now up on the wall because they're shorter cars, and I put all the long rakes, including the freight rakes, out on this center area here, so that when I'm going to put cars on, I'm not trying to grab 10, 15, 20 cars and set them down. Instead, the short trains are up there where I'm only grabbing 4 or 5 cars, except in a couple of cases. The problem is I'm so used to the cars that I had in the middle now being up on the shelves that it's really weird just trying to set this up. But Kyan helped me set this up, and Kyan actually nagged me. When I posted this video, it said there's nothing on the floor, but Kyan did, in fact, nag Opa. He's like, Opa! And he points to where my trains are on the floor, the UK DoSto stuff. He's like, Opa! No, it probably wasn't as bad as that. But again, it was only installing windows and not major construction. I dealt with that 3 years ago. And yeah, that's when I had trains damaged and track broken and houses broken. It was not fun. Hey, we've got somebody else who is not a moderator in here. Sodor, Dan the Man. Welcome, Dan the Man. I now declare you a knight of the Rhomboid Table. If you are here for the first time, you can post a link to your channel, advertise your channel. Some channels get snippy about it. I encourage you. Advertise yourself. Talk to people in the room. If you want more people on your channel, you interact with people. Go to their live streams, go to their channels and comment, and let them know you're alive. And then I try to let you guys bring everybody in that you can. And anybody here that's not subscribed to anybody else here, what the hell's your problem? Get subscribing. So yeah, it wasn't bad because they weren't working. Well, they were working near the table, but we just had dust and clutter from debris of the old windows and ripping out the old sills and putting in new stuff. But yeah, I lucked out. Other than it's been a little chaotic. In the middle of this, Märklin updated the Central Station 3, and it apparently has a lot of bugs in it. I have only run into one bug, and that is that I have 2 trains that I cannot control on my computer web app. My 2 Roco Vectrons will not let me. I can control their speed, but I can't control their functions. I can't turn their lights on and off through the computer. I have to use my Central Station 3 to do it. So, anyhow. And then, of course, did I get to your stuff? The block windows I have down here are 3 inches thick. So that's what, 7.6 centimeters. They're 3 inches. The block windows are 3 inches thick. And then upstairs we have the double hung insulated. I forget what they're called, but they've got the 2 panes, and then there's rarefied gas inside of them. Argon or whatever inside them for insulation purposes, and they're really nice. I mean, we didn't buy the luxury windows. We just bought basic, but they really look nice in our house. They're clean. They got rid of these wooden framed ones. The wood was rotting out and everything. But anyhow, you guys don't really care about that. You're here to chat and talk trains. So what am I running today? Well, today's theme is It's Delmenhorst and Bremen. These are trains that would run through Bremen to Delmenhorst. Trains and locomotives you would see running. It just, since I had everything off, I thought I'd go with this. So we start off with an ICE3. We will get him in motion, taking off at warp speed. We got a class 146 locomotive and a rake of Regio DoSto double deckers. Whoops. And then something just caused a short out. Rats. Complete system reboot. What did that? Oh my God. I had this happen yesterday when I started up my layout again. And then everything ran smoothly. And now that acted up. Hey, Rayron, how are you? I am just waiting for my Central Station 3 to reboot. And then I will have to make sure everything's okay again. I don't get what happened there. But I'm looking to see if somebody was off. But that should have given me a warning. That was just, whoop. It just did it again. Something's fried. Sorry, kids. Talk amongst yourselves. What the heck? Huh. Nothing's off. You're not off? Nothing is... Let me see if it does it again. I hear somebody buzzing. Dang it. Who's buzzing? Oh, this is not good, ladies and gentlemen. This is not good. I hear something buzzing as soon as the power goes on. There's 20 people texting me, trying to tell me what they think is wrong. One of the two that were in motion. Well, the problem is on the reboot, none of them are in motion because they go to not moving. So it's either my ICE3 Okay, no buzzing this time. So let me see if I can get somebody back in motion. And there it goes again. I think it's this guy. Because as soon as I put him in motion, it started again. Oh, this is fun. Oh, well, see, everybody talks about, gee, your train's always running smoothly. But boy, when something goes wrong, it is the insane asylum of bad. All right, so I think we found the culprit. What's up with you, fella? All right, well, we found the culprit apparently. Oh, he's going way too fast. Okay. All right, I think we found the culprit. So now the question is replacing him or finding out why he's acting up. Yep, it was the 146. So who can I replace him with? All right. All right. Auf Wiedersehen, Van den Eisenbahn. I'm going to pause this just for a second, so I'm turning it off. Okay, so that was me. No panics. Okay. All right, so let's give this guy a try. I've replaced the 146 with the 143. All right, I'm going to go to multi-view now and catch up with the chat, everybody. Okay, so yeah, for whatever reason, the 146 was creating a spike. I don't know if I'll work on it as I have time this weekend. A couple of things I was supposed to do this weekend look like they might be canceled, so we'll do that. Anyhow, hey, Sparky, how are you? The Closet Branch, welcome in. So I'm sorry if I'm ignoring everybody. Yeah, I'm doing that one, Jean. That was the first thought, but it should have been right in here, but the other guy's going. But, you know, I did vacuum the track yesterday to make sure the track was clear and that when we were taking the plastic off, nothing dropped on. But, yeah, you know, if you see me leaning over, I'm looking to see, is there something causing it? Well, you guys were only seeing the 11-lane view, but I'm looking to see if it's bumping something. Well, hello, hi, how are you? Well, I appreciate you still listening in, Von Don Eisenbahn. I love that name. So, we'll see. Like I said, I had a little bit of issues when I started the layout back up yesterday. I vacuumed everything. Cayenne wanted to have trade, so actually Wednesday I cleaned it up, started vacuuming because I knew Cayenne would come over. I had a couple of trains up, was trying to figure out a theme, and Cayenne, I kind of said, hey, Cayenne, this train or this train? And he went, this train. And I said, okay. And he wanted the blue one running. He wanted this blue one. He wanted this one running up here. He wanted to see the blue one running. I said, well, you know what? I already got the ICE3 out. I was planning on that. And then I was going to use the red Regio bond. And I said, well, I'm running stuff that would go through Delmenhorst. I'll just do a Delmenhorst day. So the 3 trains that are on the main loops, those are trains that would actually go through Delmenhorst Station. And then the other 3 are trains that you would see between, well, metronomes do not go into Delmenhorst. The metronomes don't go into Delmenhorst. They go Hamburg to Bremen. Let's see, where's that metronome at? He's going to be coming around. I think the metronome's going a little too fast. Let's go back to that 11-lane view. Yeah, that metronome, I'm flying that metronome. Let's slow him down a bit. He's at warp speed, dude. Let's slow you down. But for regional trains, the metronome is one of my favorite liveries. The metronome and NordWestBahn, I like their colorations. No, my grandson has Thomas the Tank Engine trains, but I do not. But his are just toys. They're not model trains. Speaking of model trains, I do have one more pair of trains I need to get going. Now, for the few people that actually read the description section of videos, for this week I said I wouldn't be running anything on the floor. Well, Cayenne was insistent yesterday afternoon when I brought him down here and we were working on setting up the main layout and running these trains in. Because that's one of the best things about Cayenne is he motivates me to have trains ready to go, and if I have them ready to go for, I know what I want to run on the live stream, then when Cayenne's here on Thursdays, that's when I just test, make sure everything seems to be running smoothly. Test, which is great. And that way I catch if I accidentally left a turnout open or something like that, because it'll happen while Cayenne's here. So yes, I do have a couple of Hornbys running, but one of them just stopped. Because he derailed. Why did you derail? Yes, Sodor, I do have some 00 UK stock on there because I love the Mallard. I am not a steam locomotive fan. I am not a UK locomotive fan, but I do have some. After traveling to the UK, there's some trains I fell in love with. But I've always thought the Mallard was cool, that A4 style. And it's just the Mallard was the most famous A4 on this side of the world. So I bought the Mallard. I bought that Mallard there. And of course, I had to have a DC power system, because if this is your first time to my layout, I run AC 3-rail trains. I run a German company called Märklin. All my trains are German, Austrian, or Czech, Central Europe. I do not know much about model trains at all. I don't know trains. I have become familiar with the modern German era locomotives and trains and how the German system works. But I would never try to pass myself off as a pro in any of this. I mean, my father was an electrician. I understand the difference between AC and DC. And then I'll get the electrical engineers and the electricians fighting over whether the Märklin system is truly AC or DC. But they can fight it out. I just run my trains. Well, hi, Leslie. Glad to have you here. It's good to hear from a pro, but the problem is, in any profession, any job in the world, you can have two 30-year experienced pros, and they will find something they disagree on. I don't pass my... The point is, I feel I know a lot about the Märklin system, and I can explain it. I can explain it to people who aren't familiar with it, who don't understand how it works. But the problem is, whenever you simplify something, there's that manic pro that, no, you have to explain every finite detail. And the average person doesn't want the finite details. They want it. And that's why, in my opinion, I was a damn good educator for 36 years, is because I know how to take the complex and make it understandable. What is network rail? It's linear nets. Net lines, or line network. But, I've learned a lot about Märklin. I still occasionally learn about Märklin stuff. There's stuff I put in the videos I put out 5 years ago that I would go back and maybe correct or explain better than I did. There's stuff that I realized, while in general I was right, there were some aspects I was wrong. But I definitely, I feel I know a lot, but I will always defer to people who know more than me. I mean, in this chat room, I can go to Jean Ricard, I can go to Raymond Legs, I can go to EFO, and if there's something I don't know, which is a lot, they'll know it, because this is what their life is. I've only been in this hobby a few years. It's 8 years now. Not quite 8 years I've been in this hobby. And the first 3 years, I just figured out how to put a loop of track together and run my trains, and I was happy with that. But when my wife said, take the basement and build yourself a nice layout, that's when it got serious. And I spent 2 years, well, I did 2 different versions of the layout you now see. Now, this version I haven't worked on in 3 years, other than I've added some 3D printed buildings and painted a couple of things, because I have hit a wall that I can't break through. I need somebody who can do 3D design. There's a particular set of buildings that I need on this layout, and I have tried designing them myself in Tinkercad, and to get the right nuances, I'm going to need many more years of study of that to do it. Well, the only thing I'll ever say, and I've seen you in other chats where you've mentioned that you're related to Frank Hornby, and I'm related to the Dodge Car Company in America. But I don't have a dog in the hunt. I watch UK channels, and there are guys that hate Hornby. Eddie. And, no, excuse me. And there are guys that love Hornby. The only thing I'll ever say is I'll be competitive about mainland, continental, German models versus UK 00 models. And in my opinion, although the continental models are more expensive, you get more bang for your pound than you do with Hornby and Bachmann. Now, you get some of these newer companies like Acura scale that are making all these new models. They and they're making beautiful models, gorgeous models that compete in quality with the Continental stuff. Well, guess what? Their prices are now the Continental prices. I've got a Hornby Azuma that is one of my best running trains, period. I love it. I got an Azuma, yeah, you know, Class 800 Azuma. It's beautiful. My wife bought it for me for Christmas last year. It was it was the greatest Christmas gift I ever got, at least that I can talk about on live stream TV. Sorry, kids. It's an amazing model, and the story of how I got it's been told too many times. But its price for a 5-car set and being basic analog, for $70 more, I could get a 5-car German ICE3 that has the most modern digital decoder with 32 functions and all kinds of accessories and slightly better detailed, although the Azuma is very well done. It's an Azuma. A-Z-U-M-A, Azuma. And hang on, let me show it to you. Oh, let's see, what's a good video I can put up? Well, let's just go to the solo here real quick. Okay. The Azuma is a Class 800 high-speed passenger train, and they are beautiful. That's one of the control ends, the control cabs of the Azuma, LNER. I rode these from Edinburgh to York and York to London, and while the seats are not the most comfortable seats I've ever been on, they're good. But it's a beautiful train. I love the Azumas. And this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous train. And it lights up. It's very well done. In some ways, I kind of like their light-up system over the way Märklin does theirs, but it would be harder for Märklin being 3-rail to do it the way these guys do it. But it is a beautiful train. Hey, I see Dirk from Ohio Steam and Steel is here. Hello, Dirk. So let's go back to trains. Let's do a little bit. We're going to follow this little guy coming uphill. So that's the up the ramp camera. And then he goes into Delmenhorst Station. A 100% scale accurate inside and out representation. And then the Delmenhorst Village View. That's an actual village in Germany. Although all those buildings are not accurate to Delmenhorst, but it gets the idea. This is the low cam. The Delmenhorst low view. And now you can't see it behind the Regio DoSto going in front of it, but there it is. The bridge view, as I call it. This is the other bridge view going the other way. The workstation cam. The Joyce cam, because this is the camera Joyce puts on when she comes in. Bremen corner view. I just skipped the 11-lane view because I was talking. And the Bremen Bahnhof view, because someday that will be Bremen Bahnhof built there. And then we have the faraway view. And then you can kind of get an idea of the expanse of my layout. It is 23 feet along the back here. And basically what you have is you have a 11.5 by 8 table here. 2.5 by 6 in the middle. And then you have a 12.5 by 8 table here. Actually, I got that backwards. That one's 12.5. This one's 11.5 by 8. And then there's a 2-foot area you can't see under that camera, right below your camera, where I have sort of a Schattenbahnhof, a parking area. But there's plenty of good Hornby out there. I won't bash a company. I will say Hornby made some decisions and seem to have, just based on all the Hornby people out there. Old Hornby is great stuff. You know, just like old Märklin. I've got plenty of friends, including Jean Ricard, who will tell me all the time about the old Märklin, the stuff from the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and how great it is and how it will run forever. And, yeah, you know, I'm not one of those people that everything was built better back in the day, but certain things, especially in the toy world, were built better back then. But costs have just become so ridiculous. And I'm one of the people that some of you will blame because, whoops. Not where I wanted to go. There we go. That's the ICE 3. You get all these channels that were kind of bashing on Hornby that were the people tended to be Hornby fans. But something happened, something went wrong, and Hornby had an issue. And what that issue was, you know, the guy going out, Simon, was he ahead of it? But I'm one of the people to blame because I love the bells and whistles. I love how they're computerized. If trains did not do what they do today with the decoders and all the accessories, I probably still would not be into them. Or at least with the passion I have. Because it wasn't just buying my ICE 3, it was all the cool stuff my ICE 3 can do. The sound effects, the lights, the whistles. That's what really got me going. I do not think the biggest difference. So let me answer that question. Who asked that? Oh, Ohio Steam and Steel did. Dirk did. Piko did not get their molds from Trix. Trix's ICE 3 is the Märklin ICE 3, but 2-rail instead of 3-rail. The basic Piko ICE 3 is a basic model. The couplers are the standard couplers. The Trix ICE 3 has those pin couplers that I talked about in a video a couple of months ago. And they can be, well, you can't mix and match stuff like you can with the Piko. So the Piko ICE 3s, their connectors are different. And then when you get to the IC4s, the Piko IC4 is scale accurate. It's true 187 scale, where the Piko and Märklin IC4 are 193.5 scale. Ifo, I will actually disagree with you on that. They've got a starter set that is specifically ICE 3, and then they did release a 403 set about 2-3 years ago with basic cars, which then they also did the Valero. But they have an ICE 3, they have two variations of an ICE 3 starter set, a real low budget one and then a slightly higher quality one. But they definitely have ICE 3s. That's one where I'll disagree with you on. But yeah, Their one set is the Bolero with interchangeable cars, but they do have an ICE. They do have two different ICE sets. ICE 3 sets, I should say. Specifically ICE 3. Ugh. Cough, get my voice back. Because I almost bought their ICE 3 starter set. I looked at the Mahano, I looked at the ICE 3 starter set, and the ICE 3 starter set to get it was going to take like a month to get it. And then I saw my ICE 3 that I did buy on eBay for about $75 more, but, well, it was ICE 3. Because I didn't start into Märklin going, oh, Märklin's the best there is. I went into ICE 3, and the one I could get before my birthday, because it was going to be a birthday present, the one I could get was a Märklin. I didn't even know it was 3-rail when I bought it. I bought it. I looked up Märklin. Well, I should say that. I looked at it, decided this is the one I want, and then I looked up Märklin so I could tell Joyce, yes, that is a higher price, but all these pages and websites are saying Märklin is great quality, top quality, the best seller in Europe, one of the largest companies in the world, blah, 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 high quality, you know, how popular Märklin is. And so she said, fine, but it's your birthday and your Christmas present. I said, okay, birthday and Christmas, good for me. Well, hi there, Ben. How are you? And I joined all the German, like Stumi Forum and so forth. I joined all these German Märklin sites. I joined the MärklinUsers.net forum. I joined all these groups as soon as I got that train and just asked questions. And I found some people that were very willing to help, and I found people that just were the nastiest jerks on the planet Earth. How could you be asking such a stupid question? Everybody in model trains should know this. I'm not into model trains. It's my first model train. I don't know a damn thing. I am still waiting for my last 2 pre-orders of 2023 to come in, although one of those is a pre-order from 2022. It was August of 2022 I put my order in, and Brava has announced it's released, it's going out, and that was almost a month ago. Where the hell is it? The pre-DBAG. And then usually it's something I buy or think of buying where I enter a new field of learning, knowledge, understanding. Because it started with, I just wanted trains that I had ridden in Germany. It's how I got into model trains. If you're new to the channel, the story is I spent from the year 2003 to 2016 traveling with students in Germany. I took my students from this urban public high school in Toledo, and I took them to our sister city of Delmenhorst for about 2.5 to 3 weeks every June after the school year. The school year would end, and then we would travel. And they would stay with partners, and then their partners would come and stay with them the following September, October. And I fell in love with traveling by train. By my second year in Germany, I had fallen in love with train travel. Aha, you did disconnect. Sorry. I've got to fix the mallard. Oh, big time. Mallard, you son of a beehive. Oh. You know what? I'm just done with you for today. I'm just not going to bother trying to fix all that right now. Those stupid D-hooks uncouple all the time, and then, oops, it uncoupled, the train came around, hit it, drove it into the other one, and knocked that other train off. Not a good advertisement for Hornby coupling right now. But there you go. So let me catch up with the chat. No, my A4 doesn't. My A4 has the mini... And even if it did, all the other ones are non-NEM. It's the big D-rings. But, you know, that was something else I've been busy with this week. It doesn't take a lot, but it's something I work on every day, is I've been doing the Fowler and Noak calendars. Hey, Al from Layton Junction is here. Yes, I did see that. And the thing is, by watching so many channels, I've learned to appreciate the old stuff. I love watching anybody running trains now. The thing that always draws me in, as I always say, is watching people who love their trains without being jerks about it. You know, they love just showing their trains running, and here's what it is. I've had it for 50 years, or 20 years, or 10 years, or whatever, and they're just, it's all about the joy of trains and sharing that joy. Because there are people that enjoy running their trains, but man, they come across as such overbearing, like, this is the way you do it, and anybody who doesn't do this is an idiot and doesn't belong in the hobby. And it's like, that's why we have fewer people in the hobby. Oh, you're getting a Conrail. Yeah, well, that goes into politics, so I can't say that. But yeah, the new mailing cost between certain parts of the world is just out of control. Yeah, oh, well, you know, at the beginning of my live stream, I have my 3 rules. Everybody talks about rule 1, but, you know, maybe it should have been the golden rule of model trains. But to me, there should be other rules on top of rule 1. Although, rule 2 or rule 3, you know, might fit in with rule 1. See, my rule 2, a lot of people disagree with me. I've got emails and comments about, you know, hey, I'm just trying to help. Yeah, but did the person ask for the help? Because for example, when there's a live stream and you got 30, 40, 50 people in there and something goes wrong, you suddenly have 40 doctors who all know exactly what to treat, and none of them are standing in the room and know. And I've had that where something went wrong with my train, and I know what went wrong. But in the time where I'm trying to get it, fix it, and take care of the problem, I've got all these people go, you got to do this, you got to check this. It's like, I know what the problem is. I'll ask. By the way, does anybody know what the problem is? Now, if, like today, where, I was having trouble figuring out where the buzzing was coming from, because every time I turned it back on, because it didn't start buzzing, something was moving, and all of a sudden the buzzing came in, and then I kept shorting out my system completely. So yes, it was obvious it was in one of the running tracks, but I could not isolate. Was it lane? Was it my ICE, which is what my first instinct was, or was it because I've had some problems in the past with the ICE shorting out, finding out it was a wire that was snapping loose, and that wire's not going to snap loose, knock on wood. But it wound up being this guy, and this guy is my oldest locomotive, and he's been a beautiful and consistent runner. This is one of the guys that the construction crew of 2018 damaged, which is why this never stays down anymore. He's, well, I can make a million jokes about how he's always up. But be that as it may, so yeah, when I come down to film the day 9 video, I'll mess around with him and see why he was buzzing and shorting. It could be the decoder's finally going bad or something. I don't know. Hey, Ray Bella's here. Hello, Ray. Hope you're well. And see, that's the thing. I mean, my shipping fees from Lippe in Germany are $30. It's 27 euros, so about $30. Plus, I don't get charged the VAT, the VAT. Plus, they already have a discount. And I'm a member of their premium club, so I get an even bigger discount. And that, to me, that 50 American dollars a year to be a member of Modell Bahnshop Lippe's premium club, I save that on the first locomotive I buy. Because those locomotives, if I buy them from any other online shop, they're sold at the Märklin suggested price. But I get them, you know, if it's a $350 loco, I get it for about $60, $70 off. If it's a $400 loco, I often get it for more than $100 off. So I save that money I pay on the first locomotive each year I buy, the first train I buy. And then after that, whenever I order stuff, if I'm going to order from Lippe, I just build it up so that the cost of shipping, it still makes what I'm ordering from Germany cheaper than if I were to buy it from the United States. And I know people are like, oh, you got to support your local train shop. I don't have a local train shop. Lippe normally takes off anywhere from 10 to 15% off the price of most locos from the manufacturer's suggested retail price, and then I get an additional 3 to 10% off depending on the local and the company because they buy in bulk, so they get the lowest. But the flip side of that, for example, is certain special locomotives that Märklin puts out, Lippe doesn't sell because Lippe is not a member of the Märklin dealers group. Because being part of Märklin's dealer group is you promise to sell the locomotives within a certain range of the main cost. And since Lippe refuses to do that, they're not a part of the Märklin dealers initiative. So I'd rather not be able to buy a specialty loco that I wasn't going to buy anyhow and get the cheaper prices. 120 pounds, free postage. That's BS. Companies like that don't have a right. If you paid something and here's what you paid and shipping's free, they got no business being involved. It is an expensive hobby, but I think we can all agree that if somebody's getting into the hobby, there are very inexpensive ways of getting into the hobby. All right? The quality stuff down the line is more expensive. But you can go to eBay and find a $50, $100 loco, some track, and a controller, and you can be in business. If you want to get into the hobby. Now, you want one with a decoder in that? All right. Well, Märklin has basic decoder starter sets that are about $200, and you get, the basic starter sets that don't have a controller are around $200. If you want the controller, it's going to be $250 to $300. But that's a digital controller, the mobile station digital controller, which does pretty much everything your Gauge Master and MRCE handheld fancy controllers. It does it all. You can program and you can set and adjust and redo CV values and all that with your mobile station. You can do all that. All right, I'm going to go to the multi-view for a bit so y'all can check. But yeah, you could look up here. Hey, Tammy Ray, how are you? And that's true. When you're buying used, Monsville, you are absolutely correct. When you're buying used, you run the risk of getting something that is mauled. And it doesn't even have to be secondhand El Cheapo stuff that is mauled. Because at least if you spent $20, $30, you expect it to be in some kind of shape. And not good. But with but you could get screwed with expensive stuff online secondhand. And that's the disadvantage of buying online. Now again, at least with Märklin, if I buy something from Lipa and it's crap, I can send it back and they will replace it or fix it. I have to pay the cost, but they usually reimburse some of that. Are you asking the entire room or just me, EFO? Because I personally think 120 is about average now. 120 euros is average. At least as a starting price. Märklin has a new control cab for one of their locos that's 150 euros. The least I have paid for a control cab was 90 euros, and that was marked down from 105 euros. But that's the least I paid for a control cab that was lights, digital action. You know that, like on my Regio DoSto that just went past there, the DoSto wagons that are up there now. But yeah, so 120 as a face price, to me that's almost average now, if it's, you know, where it's for a lit decoder system. If it's just end of the car and doesn't do anything, no, that's way overpriced. Cost you £15 to send something first class, 24-hour posted a Flying Scotsman set to the USA. To send it back, the buyer Help me get the prices, and it would cost him $100.89 on your end. Huh. Yeah, some things like from the UK to the United States seems to be relatively inexpensive. But from the United States into the UK or from the United States into Europe. Now, I had a guy selling $4 pieces of, they were these couplers. He was in Austria. Little $4 pieces. And he wanted $56. It was like 50 euros shipping. And I'm like, Lipa charges 27 euros shipping. Why are you charging 56 euros shipping? Especially for a $4 piece. Obviously, you'd want to buy a couple of hundred of them to make it worthwhile. But I sent some stuff over to the UK, and yeah, it was kind of expensive. Plus, like Dino here, Model Railway Shed Dino, I sent him 3 locos, but I valued them at $10 each or $20 each when I shipped them over, so that he wouldn't have to pay the luxury tax on them. And but to ship them over was like 60 American dollars. And I sent something else over and I paid 80 American dollars. I forget how much I had to pay, but Hot Dog Pilot Andy paid me back, but I had to pay like 40 some American dollars, whatever it was, to send him just a couple of boxes of plastic they weren't tankers. What were they? They were ECC China clay carriers, you know, clay wagons. But yeah, I mean, even from Canada to the United States, I mean, Canada is an hour drive from me. I can be in Canada in about an hour, depending on the lines on the bridge or the tunnels. Might be an hour and 15 minutes. So I can be in Canada in about an hour from my house. But to have something shipped from Canada to my house, it almost doubles the cost of what I'm buying. Depending on what I'm buying, of course. Yeah, AliExpress had to pay taxes. Yeah, so everybody's getting, and yeah, and I sent Hi, because you're in the Netherlands. Hi's in the Netherlands. I sent Hi an N-scale wagon I bought for an N-scale locomotive. I forget what I paid for it at the show for Hi, and Hi paid me back. But it was 25 euros or whatever, or $25. And he still had to pay a bit of a tax on it coming in. And that's just economic zones fighting with each other, corporations fighting with each other. You know, that's why things from the UK to mainland Europe have gotten ugly, because of Brexit, you know. Let's not talk politics there, but for good or for bad, that's why it's gotten so ridiculous there. And of course the EU, the European Union, the EEC, they're protecting themselves now, so they're charging higher tariffs on stuff coming from outside the zone. Literally, something is $6 or $7 to go from Austria to Norway, and the same thing is $60 to come to me in the United States. Now that's BS, because once you stick it on a plane, it's on a plane. Now yes, the distance the plane is going, the gas is going to cost a little more money, but not that much more money. What do you mean about an hour? I could get to the Canadian border real fast if the traffic's good and the cops aren't looking. I've made it to Detroit Airport in 40 minutes before, and that's only 10 minutes from the border. Wow, $70K it costs to get a helicopter pilot's license, $20K in the United States. Huh. Because usually it's the flip. No, that's right. Hey, Tom, great to have you here. Welcome in. Yeah, like in the United States, getting a driver's license, now it's been 11 years since I taught my son to drive. He was the last one I taught to drive. I paid his driver's ed class was $350, and then he paid like $50 to take the test because he was under 18. Once you're over 18, you don't even have to pay. You just walk up and say, I want to take the test. You don't even have to have a driver's ed course. And in Germany, they're paying anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 for their driver's ed courses, which they have to take regardless of age. So it's cheaper to do certain things in America, and it's cheaper to do other things in other countries. You know, gas is more expensive in, you know, visitors from the UK or Germany come to America, they're like, wow, it was so cheap to fill up my gas tank. And Americans like, it's freaking expensive here. That's because they pay 3 to 4 times what we pay for gas over there. Yeah, 1,200 euros for you 20 years ago. And it has been about 5-6 years since I talked to some of my students. And that's why I said up to 3,000. Because when I would talk to the exchange students in Germany, the German host did that, we would talk about this because we taught it, so I was always updating. But the last time I took students to Germany was 2016, so that was 7 years ago. And we were still hearing quotes of $1,500 to $3,000, depending on what school you went to and what type of license you were going for and so forth. So yeah, I'm sure it's gone even more expensive. Beer is cheap where I live. Yes, it is, but it's also not as good as beer. I'm a very pro-American person, but there are certain things where I have to concede other countries do it better. Yeah, but, you know, there are some that even Europeans will say are good beers, and I can't stand them. Like, a lot of people come over and talk about Sam Adams. Really good beer. Sam Adams is a really good beer. And I'm like, I don't like Sam Adams. And I hate the arrogance of the company. And I grew up with American beers, and there are a couple of American beers I like, but I will be the first one to admit there are a lot of Americans. Like, as a teenager and into my 20s, I love Stroh's. I wonder how many Americans are here and how many remember Stroh's beer, because I don't think it's around anymore. But I love Stroh's, and nowadays if you hear anybody talk about Stroh's, they'll always go, oh my God, Stroh's was so awful, but that was the one American beer I liked. Hey, Anthony Middleport, welcome in. Cheaper to drive a train, they pay you. Yeah, but you still have to take courses to learn how to do that. And then they pay you to do it. That's the same thing with the helicopter license. You got to pay to get the license, but then you get paid to do it. Yeah, I caught that all the roads are slowed down in Wales. Wow, that's insane. Hopefully they'll vote somebody else in who will change that. Like, that's just crazy. Speaking of Wales, there's a little Welsh dragon on a building over there. That's a button from Alan Wales from Dragon Junction. Alan Wiles, not Alan Wales. Alan Wiles from Dragon Junction. And it should have been. Should have been a failure. But I have weird taste anyhow. I've annoyed everybody in my life because there are things I like nobody else likes, and the stuff I like most people think is boring. And I don't tend to like what most other people like. Which is weird. Being a very egalitarian person that I am, I'm very fussy with food. I don't like extra spicy foods. I don't like spicy at all, to be honest. And even when I do talk about foods I like, they're very plain. Like, I like Italian food, but if it has chunks of pepper and chunks of large chunks of other vegetables and stuff in it, I don't want it. I want anything in it needs to be grounded up into a pulp where I can't see it. Doesn't that sound crazy? That's just insane, Dan. That is so insane. I'm going to put you on the multi-view here. I'm going to step away from the camera. It's driving me crazy. I'm going to go try to fix the mess that the UK rail system is down on my floor. All right, we have a rail action. Let's go. The damn thing. Woo. You're all good. So let's just get the cards you rejected back on. Okay, now let's see if you guys are cooperative. Okay, so as you can see in that picture, we've got it all set up again. Hey, Roger at St. Blazy World, how are you doing? It's been nice to see you posting some good videos. I mean, well, you always post good videos, but posting videos, should I say. That sounded like a backhand compliment, didn't it? And Kieran just came in, I think, or did he come in earlier and I forgot to say hi? Hey, Kieran, how are you? But, so let's go to that camera. We're going to flip view here. Where is it? Floor view, floor cam. There we go. So there we go. We got the Mallard going. We got that Batman TV show tilt again, but what the hell. Now this is actually, I threw this together last night and didn't pay attention to where I was, and I also made it shorter than it'd been. For those of you who know the live streams, I shortened this a bit because we needed room to walk around more. I mean, I could step over it, but we're bringing Christmas stuff down and putting it over here, and just to make things a little safer, I made this a shorter loop than normal. Yeah, I like naan bread. Joyce actually buys naan bread and then melts different types of cheeses on it. And it's actually a really nice snack. I love it. But I like bread. And I like any type of bread unless they start putting things in it I don't like. Like, hey, here's bread with olives in it. Then I don't like it. But just for dark bread, I love. The only bread I can say I don't like is the German, really hard, chewy breads, like Knackebrot, as it's called. There are some breads, any sort of bread like that where it turns into a chewy, hard, almost like the old American military food called hardtack. But, yeah, I love bread. And Joyce makes amazing fresh baked bread and rolls. It's just she doesn't do it often. Yeah, it does, Leslie. But yeah, I do love bread. And just going, there are bakeries here in America. Obviously, we have a small bakery up the road. But I never think to go to it and just buy some of their fresh baked rolls and stuff. I probably should. And since I'm retired, I could ride my bike up there, be there in 20 minutes, buy all this fresh bread and bring it back for my lunches through the week. And just kind of get European about it. Because that's what Joyce and I do in Europe. We get up, we go to the bakery, we buy fresh bread for the next 2 days. Because we eat a lot of sandwiches when we're traveling in Germany. And we often have bread for breakfast. We have continental breakfast, and we just go to the grocery store. We buy the little bits of groceries we need because we don't eat meals in where we're staying. In other words, a true cooked meal. If we eat, it's a breakfast and we're just having bread, cheese and meat, bread and jelly, whatever. And if we went out and had a big lunch, then dinner at home where we're staying when we're traveling is bread and a slice of cheese or a slice of meat and call it good. We eat very light. Take away the pickle and it's a date, Roger. Yeah, and I don't have a cultural preference. I don't like, Germans bake bread better than the British. No, everybody does. even in America, if you go to an actual bakery and not a mass production bakery, they make very good stuff. But yeah, there's just so many more varieties of bread. When you go into a bakery in Germany or Austria or the Czech Republic or the UK, there's so many varieties of bread. And when you go to an American grocery store, you have pre-processed, pre-made bread in many varieties, but it's still not it's not the variety. One of the best breads Joyce and I ever had, there's this little town on the Rhine River called St. Goar. And Joyce and I, the first time we were in that town, we walked into this little bratwurst shop. This little, they were offering donors and bratwurst. It was a little, I believe the gentleman was Turkish. He might have been Syrian, but I think he was Turkish. And anyhow, his wife makes the bread and he prepares the meats. And she got up in the morning and baked the bread. And it was these Fertile Crescent type little, they looked almost like Kaiser rolls of Germany, but they were an Arabic form of, a Turkish or Arabic form of roll. I mean, it was bread, but the way it's shaped has a very specific meaning, and it was absolutely amazing. The next year we went there, and it was just amazing again, and the next year they were out of business. It wasn't baklava bread. I know baklava bread, but it wasn't baklava. It wasn't baklava bread. Because they had that too. See, that's where I lose people, because you guys talk about burned in bacon fat. I am apparently the one person on the planet that doesn't like bacon. I do not like bacon. Not American bacon, not Canadian bacon. I do not like bacon. Not deep fried, not baked. I don't like any form of ham. And the only time I eat pork is when I get bratwurst in Germany. Well, I don't like to use the term overrated, because if you don't like it, then obviously other people raving about it is bleh to you. But it's an amazing. My two favorite places to visit when I'm traveling are bakeries and cheese shops. Joyce will tell you, and trust me, model train shops went from didn't give a darn to way up there. And I love going into model train shops in Europe now. I have the last two trips, the last two trips to Germany, the last two trips period, and just the last trip to Germany, I went to so many model train shops like never before, and it was amazing. It was amazing. I had more fun. But still, a good cheese shop and a good bakery, I'm in heaven. You don't eat pork or beef. Now, see, I eat most forms of beef. I love cow. I love everything that comes from cow. Steak, burgers, cheese, milk, leather clothing. I don't like corned beef, though. And Joyce has a tradition. She loves corned beef, but she's Irish. And every St. Patrick's Day, she makes corned beef, and I get a regular burger. Yeah, Dan, Americans do that form of bacon. That is the most famous American form of bacon. Mix as yeet just about anything. Oh, you got pancakes on there. I make great pancakes. I also make a really good lasagna. And apparently I even make a really good vegetarian lasagna, according to the 3 German vegetarians that had it. I just use zucchini instead of meat in everything. Wherever it's I didn't eat it because I don't like zucchini. I don't like vegetables. I'll just put it right out there. I do not like vegetables. I am a very unhealthy eater. I do not like vegetables, and there's only a few fruits I eat. And it's like, I like cherry flavor, but I don't like eating cherries. I will eat grapes. I eat raspberries. I grow my own raspberries. I think it's time we change some trains here. Let's go back to the bridge view if I can find it. There it is. Good timing. Look at that. We had what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we had 5 trains cross there. And now coming in. The 6th one's just coming in. There he is. So I don't like vegetables at all. I mean, corn, I will occasionally eat corn on the cob, and even then, most of the times, I don't eat that anymore. But I don't eat vegetables. Lettuce. I will eat a salad. I will eat lettuce. And I will eat little thin strips of carrot and radish in my salad. I don't have a problem with it. But will I eat a whole carrot? Well, if it's a dry carrot, maybe. If it's a radish, no. I don't like onions. If I taste onion in any food, and I use ground onion into powder in some of my cooking, but just enough to alter the taste of other stuff, not that it becomes a taste itself. It goes in as corn, it comes out as corn. Might want to check your digestion on that. We don't quite have that problem. It does with a dog, though. Definitely comes out unchanged with a dog. Well, its packaging has definitely changed when it comes out the dog. But, so yeah, I don't eat vegetables and very few fruits. Occasionally a banana, like once a year. But raspberries I go out on my vines and eat them straight off my vines. Or bushes, if you want to call them raspberry bushes. But I grow them. My grandson and I, he comes over and he can't wait. The Thursdays that, when I get back from Germany and my raspberries are actually past, my daughter's already harvested some. But my grandson, he just can't wait. Opa, raspberries! And we go out and it's 1 in the bucket, 1 for me, 1 for you. 1 in the bucket, 1 for me, 1 for you. 1 in the bucket, 1 for me. We are so full of raspberries, and then the bucket is barely full. Yes, it is actually illegal to import haggis into the United States. Because there is an ingredient that is raw in haggis that in America it has to be cooked to be served. There's something, or is it the sheep bladder or whatever else? It's something that is not purified or whatever, or it doesn't meet American health codes. So yes, haggis, you cannot import haggis. You can buy haggis, but it's made in America. Lang may your lumlik. But I love strawberry jelly. I love strawberry jam. I love strawberry shakes. I love strawberry flavor. But I don't like eating strawberries. And that's how weird I am. And same thing. I love tomato sauce. I love tomato soup. I love tomato ketchup. But I will not eat a slice of tomato. Although just to impress Joyce a couple of times, I've taken small, what they call cherry tomatoes from a salad and said, look, honey, and I bite into it and eat it. Don't ever say you never saw me at least try a tomato before. Really? I didn't know if you'd approve, because you might say, Anthony, take that off. You're bad advertisement. But yes, I'm advertising. If guys don't know what Mark is talking about or didn't recognize it, let's see if I can turn it around there. I gotta look on the 15-second delay to see if it's showing up now. There we go. Donegal Railway. There we go. Donegal Railway. Yeah, and that's the problem. All this food talk, and I'm sitting here going, Joyce will be down here eventually. And even though if you didn't hear, Joyce came down with the flu. And she's missed the last 3 days of work. She's been home. She really tried to talk herself into going to work yesterday, and her colleague said, stay home. We will figure something out. Stay home. Because Joyce would have done it. She would have bullheadedly gone in and been miserable all day, grumpy all day, and then she would have come home and then been sick all weekend again. At least by staying home today, she has turned a corner. Hey, Andy81E is here. How are you, sir? I got to get more gifts from people, because then I can do a special where I just run all the gifts people get. Well, I still in a way could. I could run the stuff I got from, run a couple of different rakes of the stuff I got from Bomberg, Horst, and Bomberg. And then I can run that rail pool I got from Andy81E. And then I could run that Blue Tiger that I got from Dirk at Ohio Steam and Steel. I could almost do a theme of trains or wagons I got from people. And then, of course, I could load them all on my track with the back scratcher I got from Jean Ricard. Yeah, although that's slowly wearing away. That is slowly wearing away. We've had plenty of people sick. But Joyce and I, we pay attention. I mean, part of it was occupational hazard. We pay attention to what's going around. So, I was giving you a compliment there, Jean Ricard, in the background. I heard that. But, so usually when there's a new strain of the showstopper, we pay attention to what the most likely symptoms are. So, you know, when we started, because my daughter, I think, was the first one who showed symptoms, because I avoided it all the years at its height. Everybody else in my family got it. I never got it. Joyce got it. And we sleep in the same bed, and I never got it. COVID, that is. And by the way, you can say it now. They don't automatically flag and shut your channel down. They still listen for it, but... But anyhow, but you know, I and my daughter had sniffles and things like that the day of my son's wedding. Or the day after my son's wedding. And then my daughter got really sick. I just had a stuffed nose and lost my voice. And then Joyce came down and she had fever, cough, sneeze, and she said, check for COVID, and we did, and we all had it. Which killed our trip to the UK, of course. But with this, the flu Joyce had, she knew right away it wasn't. There's a form of influenza going around in her school, and she's had a bunch of kids out. And normally the big thing is, as you're a teacher, when you first start teaching, you get exposed to everything and you get everything. And then you develop what we call teacher immunity, where you've been exposed to so many bugs as a teacher, nothing gets you sick. Like most of my career, when I had a couple of times where I was really sick, but most of the times where I took a sick day, it was a sanity day. It was just, I need a break. I'm tired. Something annoyed me at work, and I just need a day off to think about it. And of course, we had days built up. But it was never students. It was usually something with a principal or something like that. But yeah, if I took a sick day, it was more, I was just tired. I stayed up the night before watching a movie or something like that. The few times I took a sick day, it was usually just a mental health day as opposed to I was actually sick. You know, I took off maybe 1 or 2 days a year. You know, you have those people, I never took a sick day in my life. I was like, good for you. I did. Now, when I saw my sick day bonus, did I regret some of the sick days I took? Yes. Because I got a nice, you know, when you retire in my area, when you retired from teaching, all the sick days you had accrued and not used, they gave you a buyout on those. They rewarded you. And the reward was nice. So yeah, I counted up how much money I was out by the sick days I wasted. Oops. Yeah, I never had it, but I came down with it. And all the people that are like, I never had it, are getting it now. They're getting the newest variant. Now, sadly, Joyce had both the main variant and then the newest, which isn't even Delta. It's a newer variant. And that's the one that feels like a chest cold. And like I said, all I had was a bit of a stuffy nose, and I had so much drainage, I lost my voice. I never thought I was sick. I thought it was an allergy thing, because it was the fall, pollen changes, and I never had allergies, but I think as I'm getting older, I'm starting to develop some. And so I just thought I was reacting to something, raking the leaves, working in the yard, and so forth. But then my daughter got really sick, and then Joyce got sicker than me, and she's like, check. And yeah, it was. Because all I'm thinking is, I'll be fine. Let's get to the UK. Let's get to Getz. Have a good time. And then Joyce just got sicker and sicker and sicker. And she tested negative. Even after my daughter and I tested positive, she tested negative. And then the night before we're supposed to leave, she tested positive. Because we were packing and she just felt miserable. And I said, you better check, because she was getting worse as the day progressed. Hey, there's Artie. There's another Thunder from Down Under. How you doing, my friend Artie? No, see, my favorite train joke is why. Come on, everybody knows this. It's such an old joke. Everybody knows this. But I only learned it within the last couple of years. Why can't steam locomotives sit down? Why can't steam locomotives sit down? Come on, everybody type in the answer to that joke. You all know the answer. Why can't steam locomotives sit down? Hey, there's Chris, the model train aficionado. Welcome in. That's the Jeopardy theme for those who don't know. Tested positive, but not for that. Something you're not proud. Aha! Come on, everybody. Why can't steam trains sit down? Because they have a tender behind. Why can't steam locomotives sit down? Because they have a tender behind. Tumbleweed. Crickets chirping. They have piles. Oh, God, no. She loves my ICE and fire engine. Cool. Thank you. And hello, Anne-Marie. Welcome in. Yeah, but Ray, you were on the right. You had the right. You were there, yeah. Really? Come on. I can't be the only person who knew that joke. Or are you just have that... I knew that joke. I'm just too proud to admit it publicly. Shut up, Jean Ricard. Because if they have a tank, then they're too big to sit down. We'll give you this view for a while. You never heard that joke until now. Oh my God, I figured I was the last person on Earth, or at least in the model train community, to hear that joke. It's 85 and climbing, expecting to hit 110 by midday. And that's why the only way we're going to Australia is in your cold season. It may not be the best time to come to Australia, but we're coming in June. I want to order the flight, and Joyce is probably ready to order the flight. We just have to make sure her schedule is set for the end of her school year, because we can't travel until that's all set. Once we get the dates set and buy the planes, then we'll all just sit down and decide what things we want to do. Yeah, we had mid-50s today. We got up to 55 Fahrenheit, which is what, about 17, 18 Celsius. The Great Barrier is being hit by a cyclone. Yikes. And then we're supposed to get an ugly storm that originally was supposed to be a big snowstorm coming through this weekend. For us, it's supposed to be Sunday into Monday, because originally I was thinking, like, Joyce, snow day. As a teacher, I always looked forward to snow days because we didn't have to go into work. And but we always had the kids, because if our school was canceled, their school was canceled because we taught the same system our kids went to school in. But now that the kids have grown up and either moved out or have jobs that don't cancel, snow day could be fun. Sorry if my daughter's listening. Dad, that's disgusting. Stop it. How do you think you got here, kid? It's raining in Wales. Shocker. All right, Roger, always a pleasure and very honored when you can stop in. So thank you for hanging out with us. Always wishing you the best health. And what, you had those 3 new puppies, didn't you? Or am I mixing that up now? You had those 3 new babies. Yeah, like I said, we got to mid-upper 50s here in Fahrenheit. Guys, gals, everyone in between and outside. Ooh, he did the Ringo Starr. Peace and love, peace and love. Peace and love, peace and love. Although, from what I hear, nowadays, Ringo only says that on camera. Since it's off camera, if somebody just walks up and says, Mr. Starr, can I have your autograph? Get the fuck away from me. Now, granted, he's spent almost 70 years of his life, 65 years, 68 years of his life in the public eye and had millions of people demanding his autograph. So I guess that would probably make anybody testy. You're wet inside. But how far inside? Like, are you wet inside your jeans? In which case, go change. Well, there's that too. Vegemite tastes like Mamite. Well, we're going to be trying Vegemite. I'm going to bring some American peanut butter down with me and then try a peanut butter and Vegemite sandwich. Just to piss off the Aussies. Yeah, I assume they're just variations of the same, like one is the national version of the other. Like Vegemite is the national version of Mamite, or Mamite is the national version over there of Vegemite from Australia, of course. Most Americans, yeah, I'm going to declare my peanut butter in customs. I'm smuggling a jar of brown plastic explosives. Say what? I've got it what? Warm, yes. Yes, it is, because I've got the heater blowing at an actual 72 degrees. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've been invaded now. There goes the show. Or Jean Ricard can wake up now. Oh, he is awake because he's commenting.
Oh, okay.
I heard that.
Yeah, it was Vegemite, some kind of product.
All right, let me get a camera turn and a microphone over. Just throw it on the floor. Throw it anywhere but where it doesn't land on my...
Well, we gotta fix this chat.
Oh, we gotta fix the chat?
Yeah, just top chat and the live chat.
Yeah, go to the drop down.
Get it
There.
restless. There we go. Okay. So I'm sure you told them all I suck.
Oh, wait a minute. You haven't seen her yet.
Okay. So hi Leslie, hi Randall, hi Mick, hi Andy, wave. I don't think I'm on yet. Hi Valley, hi Raymond, hi Leslie, hi Wolfsack. I am getting there.
Yeah, for those new to the channel, this is my wife Joyce. She joins the live stream every
Mark.
Friday at 5.
Give or take, yeah.
Give or take a few minutes.
So hi again, John. Hi Ray. Hi Dino. Hi Chris.
She raises this channel.
Hi Tom.
She raises the quality and the culture up a few notches, and she raises the number of boobs on this channel from 1 to 3.
Don't do that.
I'm sorry, don't make you laugh today. My whole goal every day, well, most days, is to make you laugh.
I know, but this is a little hard. Okay, this is clearly way out of town.
Yeah, whatever.
You had like 4 likes. Alright, I usually watch your ads, but I'll skip that. So anyway, hi
well, again,
March
she has the flu.
Yeah, influenza A. I don't know where I got it.
We haven't kissed in several days because I don't want to get it.
It's very sad. I don't want to give it to him either.
I'm the one who doesn't have a job, so I don't care if I get sick.
Oh, yes, you do. You don't want to feel like this. So, much, much better day than yesterday. So, if I start coughing, I'm leaving.
I'm not surprised Monsville would say yeast is better for making beer. They are a brew person, along with Clive, who was here earlier.
Yeah, we got quite a few here.
Yeah, I don't think she can do the Daisy voice today.
Probably not. Daisy would sound very ill.
An ill Daisy.
An ill Daisy.
Well, then do Lil, because when we left Lil, she was pregnant, so it could be morning sickness.
So hit the like button, gentlemen.
That wasn't bad, actually.
So if y'all would hit the like button, that would be very, very nice. I'm sure Matt Clark would really like it.
Wow, Miss Cockett, I'd love to hit something, but I wasn't thinking the like button. I'm sorry, I made you laugh again.
Yeah, you did.
Not now, Miss Cockett.
Oh, buddy. Hi, Kieran. So,
Yana, the men from Sex are here.
Yeah. No, gentlemen, what have we learned?
Not to accidentally bump into the secretary.
Yeah,
or intentionally bump into the secretary.
Yeah.
To keep our eyes above the neckline. To keep our eyes above the neckline. To not be suggesting that it's too cold or nippy in here.
Well, John, you'll have to find out.
How is the pregnancy going, Anthony? I haven't had any morning sickness yet, so I'm doing fine, Jean Ricard. Thank you.
No, my friend. Oh, well, that's true. Yeah, I really don't know why we slammed the button myself. Hey, you just click it. That's
He
nice.
says a few hot toddy. Is that code? Is that what you call it over there now?
Oh boy. Okay.
It's a drink.
You're trying to look above the neckline, but you're too short. Oh dear.
Oh, you can still look above the neckline. You just have to look at the... What happened?
Sean says, I met with Mrs. Clark. Looks like we're back. Sorry, we had a little blip in
Okay, we should be back. We should be back.
We had a little blip in the...
A little glitch in the matrix. For some reason, my OBS lost connection.
Yeah, we knew what you meant. I have a bottle of German white wine. That's wonderful. We highly recommend peach brandy.
As I was saying before, it was rudely cut off. I enjoy, I didn't put that in the favorites, but I enjoyed writing for the SECS.
Yeah.
Those were always funny. I'll have to incorporate them in whatever I do next. I could give them their own show. Nah.
Wait again. We think we're here.
We're back now. Yes, the internet went haywire. I all of a sudden got a notice that said OBS disconnected.
Well, we spin.
I got the spinning wheel of death, but now we're back.
Which I can see it on this one, but it didn't last too long. Yeah.
Well, we're live here. Are you up to date on here now? Yeah, you're up to date there.
Pretty up to date, I think. Thank you, Joseph. I really made a nice improvement today. Yesterday was really, really rough. It was just really, really rough.
Yeah, if she were to sing right now, she'd be sounding like Bonnie Raitt, or who are some of those other raspy voice singers? Bonnie Tyler, Kim Carnes. You could sing Betty Davis Eyes right now.
Betty Davis Eyes.
She'll unease you when she tease you. All the better just to please
I don't
you.
have to.
She's precocious.
Oh,
and
right.
she
That's
knows
really
just
obscene,
what it
son.
takes to make a pro blush.
I don't have the.
All the
I don't have the breath to sing.
Yeah. All the boys think she's a star. She's got Betty Davis eyes. And Betty Davis hated that song. All right, Kieran, thank you for joining us.
Nice you came in, Karen. I'm glad I found you. No, I was waiting for my friend Carolyn. She dropped off some stuff for me.
Okay. She dropped off or is dropping off?
She did.
Okay. You were waiting. Well, yeah, but you still got down here a bit earlier than you normally do.
Well, okay, but I was waiting for her. I put the plastic down in the cab.
The bigger question is...
I had to rest 3 times, so...
Yeah, well, we got to move all that furniture back.
I think I still want to cut it shorter.
That's fine. What are we going to do about dinner? What you cooking me for dinner, woman?
Artie's barbecuing. That's nice. It's good. It's nice and warm for him. You know what? I don't really like blue vine that much. We even have some.
Yeah, she doesn't like blue vine.
I don't. I guess I don't like the spices.
The blue vine.
It just does nothing for me.
And I like blue vine, but because she doesn't like it, it does nothing for me either. If and you know what I mean.
We get a Riesling.
That doesn't matter because it's the same credit card.
Yeah.
We're one of those couples. What's hers is mine and what's mine is hers.
Yeah,
everything is in one pot, one kitty.
Sure is. Anthony spends it well. We have...
And we are the opposites. I'm the shopper and she's the one going, stop shopping!
Yeah, which is why we're not in the poorhouse. You know, it's bad when everybody shops.
The very unfair misogynistic stereotypes are the woman is the shopper and the guy's the one paying the bills and going, we can't afford all your shopping. It's the opposite here. She's of Scottish blood. She proves the Scottish... She's half Scottish, half Irish. Go figure that one out. Well, she's quarter Scottish, quarter Irish, and half German.
Scottish friends here.
Yeah, but she proves that stereotype of Scots. No, I've asked Scottish people if the stereotype's true, and they said yes.
I need a Carlsberg. I don't know my cure. They say it's not a cold John. It'd be different. Thanks for the support, Andy.
Well, that's about the 10th or 11th vomit sign Andy's put up, so either he's sick...
Oh, are you not feeling well, Andy?
Or we're just doing a lot of things to make him sick.
Oh, we're just setting you back. That's not cool. Is us... Okay, try it again, Leslie.
Take 2.
That didn't quite make sense.
It's a general flu.
It's a respiratory flu.
It's a respiratory flu. What do you call it?
Yeah, starva fever.
Starva fever, feed a flu, or feed a cold. No, it's
starva fever, feed a cold, I think.
Yeah, or feed a fever, starva cold. Yeah, I always forget which way it goes. It's cold and fever.
So,
I don't know. I eat when I'm hungry.
It's silly.
Don't eat when I'm
you
not.
just
it's the only emoji you can find.
No, we balance each other in many ways, and that's one of them.
No, and actually, I do most of the cooking nowadays.
Nowadays, yeah.
Nowadays. When I retired, I took over the cooking. That was a deal I made.
You're still gonna have to cook Sunday.
There was a deal we made that when I retired, I would take over
Let's do it.
all the cooking so that she would have more free time to do other things. One of us is not living up to their end of the deal.
There's Mick.
Mick, your answer to everything is alcohol.
That's right. Apparently he's very healthy.
What is x squared plus 3x minus 7? Alcohol.
Is that a part?
What is the capital of Inner Mongolia? Alcohol.
Are you talking about the Liverpool side?
Yes, I think he is. Yes, Dan, I am a Liverpool Reds fan. Have been all the way back to the days as Bill Shankly as coach.
Cool, Andy.
I am a long established. Plus my drinking buddy Mick is here. He's a Liverpool fan.
And he knows what to do with yeast too.
I am a Liverpool fan, but I've grown tired of Jurgen Klopp. I think he needs to move on. Although we are in second place in the league right now.
Wow,
Second position.
That's a lot of beer. Oof.
75 or 80 beers in one night.
I mean, the alcohol.
No,
The
I don't
alcohol-
buy it for a minute
the
unless the
alcohol-
beers were like this big each.
Yeah, the alcohol content in beer is not real high,
But that's still,
but that still sounds like it would be horribly dangerous.
maybe he was counting by 20s. Because I have had a lot of
Yeah,
beer
it
in
was-
my
it wasn't
time. I have
counting.
had nights where I drank lots of beer.
No, you
Because
could-
beer
you could
didn't
kill yourself.
affect me.
You can kill yourself with all that.
I have a bizarre immunity system and tolerance
Yeah, on my
system.
phone.
What?
I support you twice.
Oh, yeah.
I put you on my phone. I deleted some things. It's not what it used to
Wait
be.
until I have Aussie beer. I've had Czech beer. I've had Danish beer, if you can call it that. I've had UK beer. I've had top-end German beer. Aussie beer is not going to be any harder. I'm not like one of these Americans that's only had American beer. I've had the heavy, high-alcohol beers.
You don't support football, got my hobby, and 1 hour drive from Anfield. Wow.
You don't support. Well, I can't go to any of the matches anyhow. That is a bucket list thing. Is that someday I will get to a game at Anfield, but I would have to pay for the flight over, spend the weekend. And Joyce has already said if it ever came up where I could do it, do it.
Yeah.
She understands how big a deal it would be for me. We even bought way in advance tickets so that when we went to the UK last year, I bought tickets to.
I'm sorry, Monsville. Take care.
Okay.
Like she's in her last few weeks. So,
Rosie.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
The
know
dog, I
Rosie was
assume.
not doing well.
So.
I'm so sorry, Monsville. Beautiful dog.
Yeah.
Beautiful dog. Beautiful pup. And yeah, we understand because been there.
Been there, done that.
We had Storm
indeed.
for 15 years and
Yeah.
lost her.
Had the cat for almost
20.
20. Well, we had her 18.
We had her 18.
Almost 19 years.
Almost 19 years.
Yeah, she was about a week away from 20 when we had to put her down.
Oh, stop it with I keep hearing that. Alcohol is alcohol.
You want to talk about extract? Talk about American beer. Woof.
Yeah, American beer is
very weak.
We already talked about that. Yeah, American beer.
Yeah, I
is
know.
There are American beers that are okay, but
One night was Scrumpy. You know what Scrumpy is?
you first stood on the cop in 65. You're lucky. But I've been
Yeah,
everywhere,
that's
but I
nice.
didn't get to go into the field because Elton John was having a concert. So they had it shut that day. I was supposed to be able to get on the field, but
Wow.
tours that day were canceled because they were setting up for the Elton John concert. I haven't liked Elton John since. I've been mad at Elton John. I'm carrying a grudge forever. The bastard.
Best drunk upside
He
down.
decides to have a concert the one day I can go to Liverpool.
Okay, Artie, I gotta ask, what's upside down, the beer or you? Alright, night, Monsville.
Yeah, corporate. Well, even a lot of the non-corporate beers.
Oh, it's a cloudy cider. Oh, thank you for clarifying.
Scrumpy is vicious cloudy cider. Huh.
Okay.
So we are what? Beer, wine, and brandy. And you haven't had any of that brandy in a long time.
Yeah, I know.
Because all the meds you take, you don't want to mix alcohol with it.
Yeah, you didn't offer it to me.
Yeah, well, he's the Rocket Man. He can blast off. Now, I liked Elton John up until about 1980s, and then his music went downhill for me. But I love classic Elton John. But the man himself is now my mortal enemy. The one day I booked it before he booked his concert tour. And the one day I get a chance to go on the Cup, he goes into Liverpool and has a concert at the Cup. There are plenty of places you could have had a concert. Why do it at my stadium?
Okay.
On the day I was going to get to walk on the field that I had waited 50 years to walk on. Bastard. Not that I hold a grudge or anything.
This is Stefan's brandy we drink.
Ours is Stefan's.
Stefan's
Wine Paradise.
Yep.
Stefan's Wine Paradise from St. Goar on the Rhine.
Yep.
Raubach am Rhein, Deutschland. And it's awesome stuff.
Headed to San Fran. Cool. That is very far away from us.
Yep, San Fran's on the other side of the continent from us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Stormy went at 16 or 17 because we had her 15 years and and we got her when she was over a year old.
You're going to Colorado. It's closer, but not by enough.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. All you people traveling, none of you are thinking of coming to Ohio or even
Well,
Toledo.
We don't blame you. Why would you want to come here?
I'll blame anybody. I went to their damn cities and country.
We didn't go to all these places. We stayed on the shore, and some of them came to us.
We went to Cardiff. We went to Bangor, Wales. Who goes to Bangor, Wales?
That's true.
Except Mr. Wales.
And Alan.
And Alan. Alan came to Bangor to pick us up and get us out of Bangor.
Did. Oh, Air Fiji has a sale on the 19th.
Air Fiji has a sale on the 19th. Yeah, but unfortunately to fly how we want to fly, it has to be Delta's the only one that flies out. And for me to use my Sky Miles and that, we have to fly Delta and Delta's Fred. So we're flying straight to LA and then LA to Australia.
Dan is offering to get you 50 blades of Anfield grass cuttings.
Hey, if you come to Toledo, I could take you to the restaurant that Klinger from the American show MASH of the 70s always talked about. It's still here, and it's still good. In fact, there's now 4 of them.
Oh, wow. Well, we didn't know you. That was 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Sake is rice wine.
He's not listening.
I'm sorry, what? Who asked me what?
Dan, the man. He's 25 miles away from Bangor. He's a bus driver.
Ah.
You maybe took us to Cardiff?
Yeah, we rode bus to
To Carnarvon. All the castles.
Carnarvon.
Yeah, we took a
Yeah,
bus
we took
to
a bus.
Carnarvon.
We took a bus from Bangor
So
to
that was 2 years
Carnarvon.
ago? 2 years ago?
Yeah, June of 2022.
Yeah, you got up to 40. Nice.
Heck, I could even look up and tell you what day of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, we could.
Actually, your bed space is taken up by these two chairs.
Oh. You don't know MASH? Okay.
Yeah,
You
we
must-
went from
You
train.
must be a bit young.
We went from train from Cardiff up to Carnarvon, and we took the interior route. We went over to Newport, up, and then went through Conwy, and then came around to Bangor that way. And then we stayed 4 days in Bangor. And we lived on sort of the southwest side of the town where you go up the hill. The station like divides the town. Like south and west of the station, there's this hill that goes up into like the main residential area. And then north or east of the station is the old city and like the shopping and restaurant area. And you go up to the bay, which was very pretty. We really don't have anything negative to say about Bangor. It just it was a pretty little town. We just hated walking up the hill.
Yeah, we lived on, it wasn't even the top of a pretty good,
We weren't even at the top of the hill,
pretty
right?
good hill. So, yeah.
But we were up a pretty good
Being-
grade.
Being flatlanders, it was a lot.
Yeah, Toledo's
And,
flat.
We weren't finding a lot to eat in this little bird village down there. So,
Toledo is flatter than olive oil and Twiggy laying down sunbathing.
Yeah, pretty much. We're in the,
Bangor is a city. Yes.
northern.
Actually,
northern
we were
Wales.
corrected. Somebody, because there's
Yeah.
Bangor, and then there is the Welsh other name for the part of the town and the region or something like that. And they said, most people call it Bangor, but technically we were in,
Boogaloo or something, I don't know.
yeah, you can bring your own bed bugs, but then you better bring your,
Exterminator with you.
you better bring your exterminator and
Nice.
wallet with you to pay for the extermination.
I suppose a chicken would probably work.
No, that's not it. I'd have to Google it up now.
Talibans by chance?
Talibans?
Would you have a way to remember? I would not
No,
know.
not off the top of my head. I'd have to Google
Yeah,
map it, Google Earth it.
just crabs. That sounds a little scary too. Is Lindy in here?
No, I have not seen Lindy because Chris is still working, so that might be changing things.
Yeah, but he's upstairs. You can turn it on.
Oh, that's true.
Should turn it on in the living room.
So let me go to.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out when we can go down to Finley. We were gonna go down tomorrow. It's supposed to rain.
I don't care what's
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm really healthy enough for it anyway. Hey, Ohio, Stephen Steele is here.
Well, he was here and left, and now he's back. Hello, Dirk.
Okay. Maybe he was still here. Maybe just to say hi to people.
Or never left.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
It was like Gwyneth or something like that. Gwyneth.
Oh, yeah. That sounds familiar now that he says that. I don't think I ever would have come up with it.
Yeah,
but-
Gwynedd, Gwyneth. Because I think double D is pronounced like a TH.
Yeah, he's got it. Near the hospital? I don't know if you noticed that.
But a couple of the locals told us that although the city's called Bangor, it actually should be called Gwinnett.
Right, yeah, we heard that too. Oh boy, Artie, it's a crapshoot. We have had huge storms in February, and then like last year, it's gonna snow, and we had almost no snow all year.
Yeah, we usually get one decent storm in February.
We usually get a pretty good one, but
somewhere in January to February, and then another one February to March.
It's a strong El Nino, and typically that makes the East Coast get a lot of snow. Midwest, not at all. We have very
depending
low
on where you
precipitation.
live, you'll
It's
hear,
warmer.
like in America, you'll often hear, at least this part of America, you'll hear lake effect snows, like Cleveland and Buffalo. The moisture, the storms go over the lakes, and they just build up more moisture and dump it as soon as it hits the warmer, dry land. And so they get lake effect snows. Toledo gets reverse lake effect. Toledo is actually...
All right, Dan, that makes sense.
In a
I think
depression.
We've been told that.
both mentally and geologically.
Geologically, yeah.
And so there's sort of like a bubble, sort of a natural bubble forms in Toledo. So these storms that come west to east that dump snow everywhere else, like 20 miles north of us and 20 miles south of us, they'll get 8 inches of snow and we'll get 2.
Yeah, we tend to get, if we get hit, we either get it from the north or we get it from the south.
Yeah, it's either, for us to get hit with snow, it's either a storm coming almost due from the north going due south, or from the south coming up.
Yeah, it can be coming southwest and get us, but it
Yeah,
has to get
southwest
under,
can do
has
some
to get
damage
under the
too.
lake.
Hey, Kiwi Dave, how are you?
It's safer to get there to drive or go by train.
Well, if the weather is decent, driving will get you here a lot faster.
Yeah, well.
And the main highways are great.
Okay, Dan. You know, it was, we are relaxed tourists. We're not really that worried about it.
Because
a lot of ice in the
for the
winter.
most part, they
Right.
were nice to
I understand
us.
it, Randall.
They were nice to us.
Oh, yeah.
Our train got early and our room was not available.
It was about 2 hours later than we expected.
At
We got
least
a
2 hours
message.
later, because we got in at like 1 and we couldn't check into the room
So-
until 3:30. So we took our luggage and walked down to the
We
bay and
had-
watched the tide roll out and start to come back in.
Yeah, we had a lot of time to kill.
Yeah, it was more like
So-
4 hours. we
Yeah,
had.
it was. So we found some interesting things, but we sat there and
With our luggage and
with
people
our
walked
luggage.
up.
Oh yeah, we had 3 different groups of people stop to chat with us. Well, people being
Yeah.
aloof around here was a lie. You know, we had somebody stop. It was a very good friend of now King Charles.
Yeah.
Yes, very proud of that.
Yeah, it had King Charles on a speed dial.
Yeah.
Well, he
very,
was
very
Prince
proud of
Charles
it.
then.
Yeah.
He was part of Prince Charles' old honor guard.
That's right.
He had won a lot of awards in the military.
Oops, you accidentally bought 45 times Prairie Tank.
A
number
45
5.
XX Prairie Tank number 5.
Yeah.
Now, how accidental was that accidentally?
I mean, who do you have to say it was accidental? Yeah. Yeah, he's willing to take it off your hands.
That is an issue. I will send you my address.
That's right. So good friends here.
We'll happily help you out.
So
Yeah.
anyway, no, it really was quite an enjoyable morning. The only problem was we walked downhill to the water.
To the water.
And then we
We had to take our big luggage up the hill.
had to wheel it up back about where the train station was, and then go up a couple more.
Yeah, like the incline from the bay up to the train station was like that. To our house was like that.
Yeah, and there was a whole lot of. Why did we not take a taxi? This is just so silly. We just need
Why
to
don't we take a
We
taxi?
just need to
Listen
take
to her.
a taxi. I know. But I think, it's not, he tells me it's not that far. Like, we can walk.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no, 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 no. Missy, Missy, Missy.
He sat on the bay and could see the Stonewall Key and lifeboat. You were looking at a distance at the old Penrith.
We saw it.
All right, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you'd have to find me on Facebook and then go back to last year because we posted
Right.
pictures and video every day.
I believe, yeah, because it was a hill, and yeah, that makes sense.
I actually could probably pull up the video into here rather fast too.
Stand well
But
apart.
don't you dare lie through your
I'm
teeth.
not lying. The thought of we needed a taxi is when we're about halfway up. Not when we could have picked one up.
No. Anthony always says we should get a taxi. And Joyce says, no, we can walk. It's not that far. And then halfway up, Joyce says, oh, why didn't we get a taxi? I suggest a taxi all the time. You're a little Miss Health Kick that says, no, we can walk. Miss, I can run up the side of a mountain.
Crowsville Club.
Yep, because we walked through that.
Yeah, I think we did too.
Yep.
Definitely saw the Texaco petrol station.
Yes, we walked through that.
I'm not sure about the ambulance and fire station. I maybe just didn't look at it.
Heck, I can add media source. Yeah, we'll just stop media source 2. Okay. And we want to browse.
It's a twitch you have when you see the buy button.
Do I have the videos on here? I can't do it as pics, video.
I am just going to suggest that a lot of people in this chat have that same problem like you do, Valley.
This is the train ride. This is the train ride from Cardiff to Bangor.
That's pretty.
We were on our way to Bangor, but she wasn't home. Oh!
So this is gonna make your car sick.
So we're watching trains and
On a
we're on a train.
Yeah.
Taking from a train. And this was awesome. This is my first time seeing the North Sea line. Actually, it wasn't the North Sea. Coming around, it was that little bay in the Irish Sea. What beautiful views, isn't that? Absolutely.
It was June, it was so green, and it was lovely. I talked to the lady who owned the house we were staying in, and I said, is it always this windy? And she just gave me the weirdest look, and she says, well, you're in Wales.
All right.
Okay then,
Well, we were
I
in
guess
Bangor
I had
taking
considered
a,
that Wales would be very windy.
All right.
I
This little church,
understand
Very
the
tough
minister,
first
the
walkthrough
vicar,
tour
whatever you
because
want to
we
call
can't
her,
check
who
into
runs
our
it,
room
very
until
cool.
6
It was
o'clock.
a cool little church.
Gorgeous cathedral here.
We love
Flying
this,
the
and we had a
pride
great
flag,
talk
and
with
that
the
tells you
vicar
if,
there. And we are not religious
1,000-year-old
people, but we love to see the architecture and the
Romanesque
artwork
and
inside
Gothic
churches.
cathedral
Okay.
can
So we always go
modernize with
inside
the
of it.
times. Maybe the rest of society can.
Yeah, we like to look at the architecture. And
Oh yeah, YouTube is saying that this video is too OBS disconnected again. That has nothing to do with what we did.
okay.
I really should just post these. OBS reconnected.
Okay. So apparently we're glitching a wee
Sorry
bit.
about that. Something's going on with our internet or OBS because OBS has crashed twice now. We are back. Sorry about that. We are back. But yeah, this has nothing to do. It does say my CPU by whenever I enlarge this, the CPU goes up.
It's a little cranky.
And now it's saying it's overloaded again. All right, we're gonna have to remove that. Because yeah, we're spinning
so-
again.
Yeah, we got some cool video for sure. You could just put up snips of it.
Well, I'd have to break it up.
Anyway.
Well, that was a 4K video that was being compressed and just sending too much information. Actually, it's really good internet, and this is hardwired, but I was putting a massive file. That was an hour-and-a-half video compressed into this screen with all this other stuff.
Yeah,
that's just too much information.
Right. You maybe needed to close a lot of your cameras off. Are you asking us if we've ever been to Ontario?
A new species of TMI.
Too much information? I don't think so. Andy asked if we've ever been to Ontario with a Class 66 or Maine.
Ontario in the UK? No. We've been inside Ontario, Canada, the whole state many times.
Aren't they in Bradford? We go through it when we go to Niagara Falls.
Yeah, we're not getting any drop frame rates. We're not getting anything else. But YouTube is having
it was London and Ontario. Okay, so we've been through London too. Uh-oh, what did you do, Artie? Took Trixie out to dinner?
Or did it involve your telescope again? Oh, you don't know that story.
Oh, maybe we don't. I think I know he has one though.
Well, he just got a telescope and he was trying to focus it on something on the hill outside his town, but the high school's up that way. One of the neighbors called and said he was being a perv looking at the kids at the school.
Gotcha.
Idiots.
Yeah. 2 jump gas tankers. Oop.
What is that town? Because I might recognize the name, because I try to remember the names of all the towns, because we did, we went back to Conwy. I've got all kinds of Carnarvon, because I went to Wales to see the castles.
Oh, you got trains from the dark side. What's he consider the dark side?
Yeah, I don't know. What does he consider the dark
US?
side? He's got American trains. He's got Australian trains.
Yeah, it does seem a little weird indeed. Yeah, Wales is just gorgeous. I was really, really impressed with
Colwyn! Cool! We went through it.
Yeah, we did. I think it stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Colwyn.
I
Artie.
don't think we stopped at Colwyn, but our train went through it.
Went through it? Okay. I don't know. It just was a familiar, say.
But my goal was to see how many castles I could fit in up there, and we made it to 2. We made it to the 2 I wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
We made it to Carnarvon and Conwy Castle.
Oh, Ray's onto some. So you go N or O?
Oh, Artie bought N-scale trains, did he? Because we always call that the dark side.
Gotcha. Yeah, we figure it out, Artie. All right, Ray helps, but still.
Yeah, I'm guessing
We'll get there eventually.
when we say the dark side, that's N-scale.
Oh.
When
Way
they
too
say it,
small.
I don't see a dark side.
Yeah, well.
The only danger is when you start running 2 scales and then or when you're constantly changing scales.
HO.
We saw it from a distance, but we didn't
did.
go up to it. I
Right.
wanted to go to it, but that was the one that was the hardest for us to get to. The buses were relatively, because we had things scheduled.
Yeah.
And so it was, we either cut short our visit with Alan,
They were doing
or
that.
we don't go to Beaumaris.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to go to Beaumaris Castle.
It was an easy choice.
And it was an easy choice.
As it is, we went through 4 castles? 5?
What, during the whole UK visit?
Yeah.
Oh, easy.
more than that. We hit a point where I think I got a little castle.
She got a
now.
little castle sick.
Yeah.
But I love castles.
I mean, they're absolutely cool.
Well, we did Tower of London.
Nothing against them at all.
We did Tower of London, then we did Cardiff Castle. Then we did Carnarvon and Conwy Castle. And then we did Edinburgh and Stirling Castle. And then we did the walls and the 2 keeps in Yorktown.
Right.
So at least 7. And if you split Yorktown into different bits, you could call it 8.
Yeah, we understand that.
Yes, they were, Chris. We understand that.
Yeah, we knew that.
And ancestrally speaking, we were on the English side.
Ah, okay, Nick.
But historically speaking, I'm on the Welsh and the Scots side.
Yeah.
Sorry, my English friends.
Yeah, and but it's all history. I probably could be Castle Mad, but just not.
Hi, Richard.
Hi, Richard.
I have missed so
Just
many of his
not-
streams this week because of everything going on.
There's been a lot.
I
going
feel,
on.
and I know
Yeah.
you'll say, don't worry about it, but
He watches.
I feel bad
He
about
watches it later, Richard.
I always watch your streams. I watch
Yeah.
most people's
He
streams
just
if I
doesn't-
miss them.
He doesn't watch it at the right time.
But I like to go into the streams.
But yeah,
Well,
we have the.
we've just had the window guys here.
We're working
Joyce has
on
been
the
sick the last
windows.
3 days, and I just all of a sudden I'm like, what time is it? Oh, I just missed Richard's stream.
Is it Rhine Falls?
Rheinfeld.
In Germany.
Yeah, there's the Castle Rudian. There's also oh crap. Further down the road. Crap, it begins with an H. But one of my historical loves was all the border wars.
I'm getting there, Richard. Well, that's interesting on its own, Artie. Right.
Yeah, and that's cool because I love them. Ruins of castles. You know, we go to the Rhine River when we would go to Germany, and we hit a lot of the castles there. But
Yeah.
we always hit the Marksburg or the Braubacher Castle.
Yeah, what's
The
the
Marksburg.
what's the one in?
And we always hit the Rheinfelds.
The Rheinfelds. Yeah, I chased a couple teenagers who went away from the group through the Rheinfelds Castle and had the time of my life. Those boys just wanted to go everywhere.
And you didn't chase them as in you were after them.
No,
You chased them to
I
stay
did
with
to stay
them.
with them. And oh my gosh, they just found every possible nook and cranny. And like I say, I had an absolute blast with them. We had.
We went. Well, Alan took us.
You know, it's
Alan
very
took
dark
us.
places.
Oh, sorry. Alan took us to a railway museum and a mine museum on our day trip before we went to his house. We had an amazing day with Alan. We even went to. Hey, Dirk, thanks for coming out and hanging out with
For
us.
coming, Dirk. Appreciate it.
Yeah, but we didn't even see it. When we went through Newport and stopped in Newport, I don't think we saw the castle right through Newport. Even on the way to Gloucester, I don't remember seeing the castle. And we walked through Gloucester, but Gloucester didn't have a castle; it had a cathedral.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, it sure is.
Now, I will say this. As a person who traveled in Germany from 2003 to 2016 every year, and then in 2017, Joyce and I went without students, and then we took 2018 off, and then 2019 we went back, and then COVID, and then we were back in Germany for the first time since 2019 this year. We always avoided Neuschwanstein with an arrogant saying, it's not a real castle, it's a fairy tale castle, But we finally broke down and went to see it in 2019. We were down there. It was something to go do. And we have to admit, we loved it.
Okay, Leslie.
A lot of things about Neuschwanstein was always, it's a tourist trap, it's this. And yeah, we were tourists. But going down there and seeing it, it was still impressive. And that's the flip, like when we went to see, we took our kids when they were little, we went out west, and one of the things the kids wanted to see was Mount Rushmore, the famous mountain that they carved the American presidents on. Well, by that time, we had learned that that was actually Native Lakota Indian Holy Land, and it was actually a grand insult to carve our presidents. So we already had kind of a negative, but once we got there, we just kind of looked at it and go, it's not as big as we thought it was. And it's like, yeah, it looks just like the books.
Yeah, I didn't feel like you really gained much of appreciation being there.
So we expected Neuschwanstein to be like that, and instead it was the opposite, where it was more impressive than what we expected it to be.
When you just look at the architecture of it, it is very pretty. I mean, that's why Disney
And the
copied
location.
It. Oh, location's just gorgeous.
Yeah, we hiked up the mountain to the bridge and got the views from the bridge.
Confess.
The only thing we didn't do is go inside.
Delby, I have the respiratory flu. So no, I'm not. I'm getting better.
Oh, hey, Pete. Yeah, you were here earlier and then
I would not have, I wouldn't have made it down here yesterday.
Yeah, Joyce has a flu. Not the C flu, not COVID, but she does have a chest flu. And of course, anytime anything gets in Joyce's chest, it's not going to want to leave. I can feel her ear, I can feel her eyes burning holes in the back of my head.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there's Penhern Castle. Was in the near, but we didn't go to that one. I'm trying to think, what was
already,
the other
it's really dragging me down. He's never getting that Fowler car up. Oh.
Well, I have to get a couple of buildings in place before, because I'm expanding the Fowler car system, and plus I'm doing a hybrid version of it. But until I can get the Delmenhorst Town Hall and water tower up, because I have to know where I'm putting my road.
Night, Remington.
He's coming in. I think Graham is coming in. Hello, Graham.
Hi, Graham. Okay,
and Al from Layton Junction saying good night. Good night, Al. Always a pleasure to have you here. Take care. Al, one of the friendliest and coolest channels out there. But Graham's coming in. Nice to see you and hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Cardiff Castle does have Roman parts. There's not an inch of Cardiff Castle we did not peruse.
That's true.
But your favorite part of Cardiff Castle, do you remember? That room. The math room. The geographic room.
Oh, that was spectacular.
See? That was in the new castle section.
Yeah.
Little room that was Arabic, but it was all geometric, and it was super cool.
Beautiful.
And if it's geometric, Joyce is in on it. Geological or geometric, she's in on it.
Just the
yes, that's it. Harlech Castle. Sorry to interrupt you. Harlech Castle. That's the one.
Just the craftsmanship.
I wanted to get to that one and didn't.
Incredible.
We had 4 days to Bangor. Carnarvon was one. Conley was the other. And then we always give 1 day to the city itself just to experience it, walk around, visit it. And then we had Allen Wiles was the fourth. And that was our time in Bangor.
Yeah, that's kind of funny, Leslie.
That is
but I've
weird,
heard
isn't
people live near things like that. They don't even see it after a while. It's just part of the scenery.
Yeah, the people of Paris think, what's the big deal with the Eiffel Tower? They see it every day, so, and they never go to it. They see it, and that's enough.
Windsor Castle? No.
Now, see, here's the thing, Dan. I'm not a big railroad guy. I love traveling by train, but I'm not a railroad history. And I went to the York Railway Museum, which was awesome, and I would go again in a heartbeat, so I would not have a problem. But I would never do a trip where I'm just hitting railway museums. One here and there is cool, but when I travel, I want castles and architecture, and then Joyce wants nature. So we have to split the difference. Well, I don't know. It would take forever, especially 4K. That would take like hours and hours and hours.
Andy, I would highly recommend it. It's really, really pretty area. And if you like castles, you got your pick anywhere you go.
Yeah. There's so many. And here's the thing that gets me.
Yeah, I'm sure, Artie.
Here's the thing that gets me about the UK. Now, the UK, well, let me specifically say England. Specifically England, and not even do it to the United Kingdom. But England, along with the other countries of the United Kingdom, and let's include Ireland and Northern Ireland and Great Britain and all that, but I want to specifically talk about England. You've had a history of all these border wars, civil wars,
No doubt.
and you have all these amazing estates and castles, and burned out abbeys, monasteries, battlefields. But some of the most important historical battlefields you guys have are out in the middle of nowhere, and there's no easy access to them, even if they put something there.
Yeah, I've kind of figured this out. Anthony and I have traveled in Europe successfully by using public transportation. We just don't bother renting a car. If we can't get to it, we don't do it.
But like, for example, the famous American battlefield, Gettysburg. Okay, you got to get to Gettysburg, and there's many ways to get to Gettysburg. You can drive and you park, you stay. But there are buses, and there are trams, and there are public access ways to get out to the battlefield or even walk. But you've got the Battle of Towton, the most brutal and bloodiest and one of the most important battles in the history of England. And they've got some markings there. They've got the Historical Society has put markings up there. But it's out in the middle of nowhere, and there is no standard. There's like a bus that runs every 3 hours that goes past it. And you have to take another bus from York or some other town to that town, and then try to catch that bus, and then catch it there. You either have to drive or Uber it.
I'm laughing at Dad's.
Yeah, I'm laughing at that too. We have our own history. We do have our own. It's not as deep as yours.
No, we don't go back
we have our own
as
history.
far, although there is deeper history that's not European influence.
Yeah, Joseph is like Harlech is the castle I was thinking of, the one that begins with an H that we didn't make it to.
Right.
That's the one that actually has battle damage.
I will tell you, when we were in the military,
Towton Stamford Bridge,
the military part of any exhibition,
and then the Battle of Hastings, the Historical Society for the Battle of Hastings is not at the actual battlefield.
found that quite uncomfortable,
They lie.
to be very honest.
That is not where that battle took place.
Yeah. You know, them redcoats weren't our friends.
Our history's intertwined because obviously much of American history was UK history, but much of our history is also French and Spanish history.
Yeah, kind of elephant at this distance, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Sedgwick's famous line, they couldn't hit an elephant at this distance. And boom, dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't a pub, it was a parking lot for a school run by the local church, because the church that everybody thought he would have been buried in, but he was found on the grounds. It wasn't a pub, it was a school, I thought. But yeah, Richard III was found buried there in that parking lot. But again, you have historical sites. I mean,
Yeah, Anthony really wanted to do that. He mentioned
Battle of Trafalgar. Yeah, I don't think there's a. That's not an easy battlefield to get access to either. It was a naval battle. Down off the southern coast of
know that,
down off the
yeah.
southern coast of Spain.
I'm sick. We also have King Arthur, indeed.
Yep. Yeah, oh, I know my history, even UK military
Yeah,
history.
he does know his history.
Trains?
Very well.
No.
Yeah. Well, the trades as well, but knows the history.
Double line, shot through and split their...
And it's, you know, he's got these passenger trains because we love traveling on passenger trains.
Yeah.
Gets
Yeah, that's
us-
why I'm into train travel,
Gets
as
him
everybody
from
here knows.
point A to point B, right? You got a newbie or two in here.
Say what?
You got a newbie or two in here.
As far as locomotives, the newest locomotive running...
Oh, yours? Oh, boy, you're very red. Just right there you are.
Well, yeah. I do have a couple of reds.
You were doing
But
high-
you got
high
yellow,
speed, I
white,
believe.
and the blue guy just is coming around this way.
What you doing your high speed things? And,
Oh, you
And,
didn't, you trying to figure out the theme?
I know you told me, I forgot.
It's
I thought it
Delmenhorst
was
and Bremen.
That's right.
The three trains
The
that
familiar
go
trains.
through the Delmenhorst
That's
station are
right.
trains you would see at Delmenhorst any given hour.
Pickled in a barrel of rum. Oh, yeah,
Ah, there you go. He's been to the
Okay.
Victory twice. That would be cool. I wouldn't mind seeing the HMS Victory.
Oh, so the Regio gets to go up the ramp.
Yeah.
How's it doing with
Oh,
it?
it's doing fine. I actually, here's the problem. I told you we had a little bit of issue when we first started yesterday, then everything
Yeah.
leveled out. Well, all of a sudden, right as I started running the trains, I kept hearing zzz, zzz, zzz,
Oh, geez.
out. The
That's
whole system
scary.
rebooted 3 times.
Oh.
And for whatever reason, it was this guy. So he was polling yesterday,
golly.
and he never does anything wrong.
Right.
So I don't know why he was having issues or why it was shorting out. So I'll mess with it.
I always think his
Later tonight or
pantograph
tomorrow.
sticking up is like having his underwear showing. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I just pretend I actually have
The kids
catenary
right
and
for
he's
him.
running along it. But I see what I need is I need a little thin plastic metal
What about
tube that I can
Huffman
fit
also,
over
too?
those 2 bits and then it will clap in there.
Right.
That's the problem. I don't have that little bit. I've actually tried to use black tack to hold it in place because black tack won't show up on camera as much as blue tack. And just try to squeeze it down there, but this actually pressures it that eventually pulls up anyhow, so I took the black tack off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will mess with him and find out what happened. Well, that's not bad, Andy, but usually from the time they box it, from the time they ship it to the time I get it is 3 to 4 days. Now, usually it was from the time I bought it was 4 days to the time it showed up. But from the time I paid for it to the time I got on my door was 4 or 5 days. But usually there's a day or so for shipping where they got to box it up and send it out. But now it's been taking, about a week from the time I paid for something for Lipa for it to arrive on my doorstep, because it seems to take them a couple of days to box it up and ship it out, where it used to be within the next day. Like if I paid for it early in the morning for them. Hey, who's leaving us? Paul is taking off. Wolfsec is taking off, I guess. Or is he mentioning something else?
Yeah. I don't do my interpreter that way. Alright, so bye, Paul. Thanks for coming.
Time Team was a chant on Channel 4. Yeah, I recognize that name, Time Team. Yeah, wasn't that with, did Time Team have Anthony Robertson, Baldrick from Blackadder? Wasn't he part of the Time Team show?
Alright, Dan.
Tony Robinson, Anthony Robinson, Tony Robinson.
Baldrick was in it, yeah.
Hey, there's Langton Road. Hey, Langton Road, I didn't see you come in.
Langton.
Welcome in. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I know, again, I know most of the top British comedies, from 'Allo 'Allo to Dad's Army to Young Ones and Monty Python and Are You Being Served and Keeping Up Appearances and so forth.
You're snooking.
But yeah, Time Team. But the thing is, there have been many books. Now, Time Team, that episode where Time Team investigated the Battle of Hastings, I took a lot of umbrage with some of the things they did because they seemed to intentionally avoid some of the information that other groups have put out to show that not only is the official historical site that the British the Royal Historical Society says is Hastings, that it clearly is not there if it's none of the descriptions of the battle. It doesn't match any of the territorial, where the various scribes wrote what happened or how the armies marched.
It's on YouTube.
But even some of the evidence they provide to show that the battle most likely was in the small town Four Corners or Fox Corners, something like that, which clearly fits all the geographical descriptions from the 11th century. Because Pevensey is now, which is kind of inland and overlooking land, that was water in 1100s. And then there was massive earthquake in the world, and the land shifted, and land rose in that area, and now it's marshlands, but that stuff wasn't there in the 11th century. And they have chroniclers that describe where William landed, how far he marched, and the terrain of the battlefield. And none of that fits where the current official location of Hastings is. And when the Time Team investigated, they intentionally, in my opinion, maybe because they get sponsorship and money from the Royal Historical Society, they intentionally downplayed a lot of evidence that they found in that region. Because you got to remember, that region, because nobody ever thought it was historic, is now houses and village, homeland, and everything else. But the Norman keep that William built on the site of the Battle of Hastings, that doesn't fit with the architecture of the building that they claim is where the original Norman keep was. But there is an old, small ruins of a Norman keep over at this Fox Corners or whatever it's called that definitely fits the time period. So I'm in league with those people that say Hastings was not where they currently say it. The archaeological evidence, the geographical evidence, much more falls in line.
The Holy Grail isn't historically accurate?
Actually, in some ways, Monty Python and the Holy Grail is more historically accurate than a lot of the serious movies. Like the famous fight between King Arthur and the Black Knight, that is more likely how knight fights went than the Errol Flynn swashbuckling honor sword fighting. They fought dirty. They fought dirty. Well, I won't even get into the whole Richard III, Henry VII stuff because
We don't have that
that's
much.
still controversial to this day, and it's almost time to end our stream.
We don't have that much time.
Hey, you hung in longer than you thought you did.
Nearly a flush. Yeah, I did.
Well, let's start shutting them down, slowing them down. Oh, not you. I don't want to shut you down on the hill. I want to shut you down. Class 143, who did a yeoman's job in replacement.
Killer rabbits back in them days. This does look a little different.
Nah, but replace the rabbit with a boar, and then it's something accurate. I think there's as many. Royalty was killed as much hunting wild boars as they were in battles and jousting. I never did go back down to those. Okay, that's working there this time. That's working there. It still won't turn on or off the light. It will on this one, but it won't on the other one.
Is anything on this one?
And but I can do it this way. Where is it? Where is it?
Alright, you got
There it is. Boom. Oh, nope, that won't do it. Okay, I'll have to.
You
do it
had one on
differently.
over here.
No. That's, yeah. None of these will work this way.
Okay.
Since they updated it, the two Vectrons,
Yeah.
I can't control their functions. I can control their speed, but I can't control their functions on the computer. It has to be through the 193. But I'll take care of that in a minute.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. You can just log that out because I'll get it from here. Yeah. So anyhow, we gotta do this. Say goodbye for another week.
Yeah, really, Leslie. It's
Although
pretty
maybe
late.
I don't know, guys. Stupid question. Actually, I got a couple things before y'all pack up and leave.
I don't think.
Number one. I want to make a contest here. It's 50 pounds, 56 American dollars, 50 euros. I have been doing a joke in my my openings. The reveals, the advent calendars. Yeah. You might be able to do it if you watch 3 videos of last year and this year. You might be able to. But the key is you have to look at last year's videos and this year's video. You don't have to watch the whole thing. But there is a joke. And I want to see. I will have to set up where I want you to put it. Maybe I'll do it as a thing, but I'll do it as a contest. Where $50 gift certificate, 50 pounds, 56 American dollars, 50 pounds, 50 euros. But I'll post it up. But just to give you a heads up and see, and then whoever comments first on the little post I'll do will give it out. See if you guys can figure out what it is. The other thing is, would anybody be interested if I posted up our hour-and-a-half long videos from our trip to the UK?
Right, or just can you break them into like half-hour things, or?
That would be. I mean, technically, yes, I could do a half-hour save, half-hour save, half-hour save. If anybody would be interested in that, and then lastly, time to say goodbye. But you were about to say something, but I cut you off. Okay, so anyhow, on behalf of me and the sick one, we want to thank you all for being here and spending another Friday evening, your Friday evenings, afternoons with us.
Amazing indeed.
It's amazing that people hang out with us. So we are going to say quickly, Auf Wiedersehen
Cheers.
and happy trains. Take care, everybody. We'll see you.